If we could stand for our class of 2024.
morning. Hi. Thank you for joining us on this very special day for the Holton-Arms School. This morning, we will commence the 2023-2024 school year with the traditional convocation ceremony and celebrate the investiture of Holton's 8th head of school, Penny B. Evins. I'm Kathy Johnson-Butts, member of the class of 1987, mother of 2 recent Holton graduates, and chair of the Holton-Arms Board of Trustees. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to my fellow trustees, parents and guardians, alumni, faculty and staff, grandparents, friends, and most especially to Holton's 669 students. Today marks a significant moment in our school's 122-year history. The turning of a page to a new era of leadership. Last fall, the Board of Trustees unanimously approved the appointment of Penny Evins as head of school. The depth and breadth of her experience, 2 previous headships, her keen understanding of the importance of nurturing and supporting strong communities, as well as her personal integrity and warmth, made her the ideal choice to lead Holton. With the support of so many of you during this period of transition, Penny is well positioned to advance Holton's enduring mission. The Board of Trustees is thrilled to partner with Penny to dream and plan for Holton's success far into the distant future. Please join me in welcoming Holton's 8th head of school, Penny B. Evins.
We're going to transition. We just like to dance.
Yeah. Do a little flower.
It's an honor to be here with you on this day in this role, and with great humility, I thank you and offer my gratitude. I thank the Board of Trustees for their indefatigable commitment and wholeheartedly and enthusiastically say yes to their charge. Thank you to the 7 heads of school who came before me. Their moral fortitude, their courage, their clarity of conviction continue to advance Holton-Arms. Described as a place of encouraging young women to approach the world with unflinching curiosity and a sense of responsibility to use what they have learned for the greatest good, was Holton's position description for the 8th head of school. It pertains to our past, our present, and our future. Led collectively by previous heads and trustees who were ancestral in their approach, Holton was certainly left better by and for each generation. And together we shall certainly carry on this wonderful legacy. My parents, my grandparents, and my caregivers gave me the privilege of a preeminent education and their tireless efforts to foster my growth and development. For them, I am most appreciative. Members of my educational communities and professional network and friends nurtured my growth in mind, spirit, and provided both formal and informal mentoring, helping me to form my own moral compass. They are sources of strength, and I thank them. For my sisters, don't look around, they're not with us today, but they look an awful lot like me, from whom I still learn the power of unconditional love and truth-telling. I'm honored to share roots and wings with them. And certainly from my husband and my children, with whom I am able to be my best and worst self. You inspire me to maintain a marathon mentality and enjoy the journey, the essential rest stops, and laugh. They remind me what it means to be a team with and for each other at every turn. And for them, I am forever grateful. And of course, our 4-legged friends, who are also not with me right now. Gratitude to all who helped us bring us to this day and created this celebration. How about a big round of applause for facilities and staff from various offices, our volunteers, and all who can make the magic of this day possible. And now that my verbal thank you notes, and yes, I am very big on thank you notes, are delivered, I give a hearty, wholehearted welcome and good morning to you, Holton-Arms. It is marvelous to be with you here on this beautiful campus. Gathering is one of my favorite parts of school life, and I vowed post-pandemic never to let a year pass without naming and harnessing the privilege of being in each other's physical company. With a shared commitment to our historical purpose that began 122 years ago, we represent the Holton-Arms of today. Our past certainly informs our future, and as such, I've been studying Holton's history. In 1901, our founders, Jessie Moon Holton and Carolyn Huff Arms, actualized their dream and created a learning community designed to meet the unique needs of young women. From that dream grew a purpose, a mission-driven learning community. Who knows what a mission is out there who claims to be a Holton student? Let's be brave. A mission. Someone raise your hand. Okay, I see someone right there. Big voice. What do you think a mission is?
What I think a mission is
You've got it.
what I think a mission is like a quest or something.
A quest. That's even a bigger idea than what I had, which is, yes, it's why you're here, what you intend on doing. It's your purpose. Thank you for that. Our school's mission is worth, applause. Our school's mission is worth knowing and repeating. Holton-Arms cultivates the unique potential of young women through the education not only of the mind, but of the soul and spirit. Our mission guides our decision-making. And perhaps you've already decided a few things today. Juice or water with breakfast, leaving the house with wet or dry hair, choosing whether or not to ask for help finding your way to your first class or homeroom. Well, as head of school, it's going to be my job to make, with others, simple and complex decisions for our school. And when deciding, I shall always consider the students in my care. And I feel fortunate that we can all find our way by using our mission statement as a filter and a compass. Holton is not new to making big decisions. For example, 60 years ago, Holton's leaders decided to move from Washington, D.C.'s S Street to this location, at the time in the rural countryside. A bold decision, the open door of Holton-Arms, led us to a more spacious setting to optimize our mission delivery. And much has certainly changed for Holton and the people in our community. Our 669 students are certainly experiencing a different world than Holton's first 15 students, the year we were founded. The 4 teachers of Holton in our founding year were trained to facilitate learning with different tools than our 204 faculty and staff currently employed. Our parents and caregivers at Holton are certainly navigating different traffic patterns and decision-making and parenting choices than those parents were. But nonetheless, I imagine many of our preoccupations are the same. I imagine the first day of school at Holton-Arms always elicited nerves, excitement, promise, and uncertainty. Adventure and optimism at the start of the school year are timeless notions. No matter the year, we are forged by a purpose greater than the here and now. As educators, we see the potential, the good, the humanity to be unleashed in each and every one of our students. You should know that I see all who work in a school as educators, modeling habits of mind and heart for our students. We are carpenters of human potential, creating conditions for our students to thrive and flourish. No matter one's job on this campus or a title, we are all educators, and we shall remind ourselves that you, our students, are always watching and always learning. We strive to be an educational community at Holton where individuals take healthy learning risks, so thank you for that mission, Gus. Curious about multiple perspectives, seeking help, craving growth-minded feedback, and respectfully expressing a range of emotions. Most certainly joy. Let's hear it for joy in today's world. Holton aspires to be a haven wherein abundant evidence that you are valued and capable exists. Perfection is not going to be the goal as long as I'm around. We seek to improve and learn from our mistakes and our experiences. Collectively, we shall continue to strive to learn well, lead well, and live well, known best as LW3. Our identity was born over 122 years ago by founders, by funders, by volunteers and professionals, and families who indeed found and made a way. They ensured something novel and unmatched and needed would exist. Mrs. Holton's words are timeless and important, and from her vision became a reality. And it's our big work to caretake and advance Holton's mission. Her words, "My high hope is that they who enter through the open door of Holton-Arms remember that they felt the friendliness of a home, the urge to learn, and the joy of overcoming obstacles as the way to happiness and the fullest life. Her vision is now shared across generations, and we shall strive to nurture it into reality each and every day. Mrs. Holton, in my opinion, was a brilliant futurist. She cultivated the desire for hard work from the young women of Holton, offering spaces to learn through challenges. So as we honor our founders, Mrs. Holton's desk is now on display upstairs just outside of the school's bookstore. I'm excited for you to participate in the wonders and understandings about Holton's past as we learn from our original wayfinders. Some great displays and school-wide activities are sure to come. Metaphorically, our origin was born through her desk. No easy buttons, no fast-paced lines, wayfinding through an open door where love and positivity fertilize the soil necessary for growth. Learning for the sake of improving the world, not for repetition, but for the greater good was her vision. And our world certainly needs much more of this vision in action. So I stand with you in admiration, ready to partner with each of you who identifies and supports the mission of Holton-Arms. I dedicate my efforts to help you feel joyfully welcomed as you walk through and in and out of this open door. Feeling both able to and driven to lead a purposeful life, we are on a journey to become our best selves. Not a perfect you, but the beautiful version of your efforts and learning through mistakes. The start of school invites us to accept this opportunity and to give ourselves and each other the grace to be less than perfect as we grow. So in my own life, I've learned that friendly environments invite doing difficult things. New to Holton, in this area by choice, I confess that being new and moving are very hard for me. I am a nester who prefers routines. And I stand before you having gained courage from the little girl I was at 8 years old. I was very homesick, I was very afraid, and I was a first-time camper at sleepaway camp for 2 months, nearly 1,650 miles away from my home. To say I didn't like it is quite an understatement. According to my letters home, I was disparate. I meant to write desperate. From New Orleans, Louisiana, I found myself amongst duffel bags, a puddle of tears, in Poland, Maine. Moments of discomfort added up to days too uncomfortable to bear. I said, y'all, they said, you guys. I'd never seen a lacrosse or field hockey stick, and they wanted me to enthusiastically sign up for both. The lake at the base of a very steep hill was frigid, and it had mud on the bottom. After water sports, we were supposed to cheer loudly and walk up the hill, skipping and singing songs. To me, it was a mountain. Now, I grew up in a city built below sea level and walked uphill to see the river, not to get milk and cookies. This might seem like privileged whining to you, but nonetheless, it remains an identifiable point of my growth into a gritty girl with a can-do, will-do attitude who still says y'all. No cell phones, no emails. We had 2 phone calls a summer and 1 extra if you had a birthday. Well, lucky me, because 2 weeks into camp was my birthday, my 9th birthday. Standing in the phone booth, I know you probably don't know what that is, during lunch hour, I couldn't wait for the sights of home to fill my mind. I had the receiver in one hand and the cold metal cord of the payphone in the other. I strained to hear my mother's voice. I sobbed, I hyperventilated. And I imagined she was going to tell me she would pick me up in no time and rescue me. Instead, her birthday gift to me was the following. Penny, I love you. You are staying at camp. You can't come home. You've got to figure this out with the help of your counselors, and you can do this. The greatest opportunities are oftentimes uncomfortable and challenging experiences. I still feel the blow of this invaluable and hard lesson. A gift which has given me courage and knowledge of myself in ways I never imagined would be helpful. It sustains and comforts and prepares me for this day and many decades of doing hard things and learning from climbing the tough hills of a very full life. Yes, growth comes from doing hard things and feeling the loving support and high standards of those in our communities. Those who love us enough to help us actualize unique potential, the purpose which Mrs. Holton described and just dedicated her life to, are in abundance today, ensuring you are members of a community and given the priceless gift of a Holton education. Make sure you say thank you to your caregivers and parents for the priceless gift of a Holton education, not only today, but almost every day. Years later, I learned that the camp director told my mother, who was a former camper there, that if she wanted to partner and help me self-actualize, she had to summon the courage to say, "You can't come home, and you can do it. It will be hard, but you are more than enough," to her youngest of 3 daughters. It worked. I had to make the new place my home, a home away from home. The joy of overcoming obstacles as the way to happiness and the fullest of life. Although Mrs. Holton's visionary words were not meant for me, when reading our school's history and founding documents, her philosophy resonated with me on a very personal level. I was 8 years old in the woods of Maine, and I had to come up with a plan, and running away was not feasible. It would have taken me 23 days without stopping, according to Google Maps, to my cozy bed in New Orleans. I felt both adrift and supported. Those who knew that I had what it took let me learn from trying. Someone I loved and trusted chose to let go of me and propelled me to release my full potential. I certainly didn't like it, but my mom's message was generative love, and actually harder for her to say than for me to accept. You can do this, Penny. You can find a way. You can make a way. The friendliness of a home away from home pushed her and there in me to overcome challenges. Outlook and mindset. I chose to change mine, pretended that it was a 2-month dream, and gained a sense of control, a mindset switch. We all have the choice to own and change our mindsets. Perhaps at 8 years old, I began finding my way or making my way to Holton. Bitten by the bug of hard work, determination, and the joy of successful growth, I remain dedicated to a purpose-driven life with you. I strive to see the humanity in each and every individual and seek a partnership towards continuous improvement. And this is balanced by a fierce advocacy for the art of being, not always doing. I practice this with intention and will never master, but I will remain a student of well-being. Living well means we celebrate the small moments, the everyday gifts of Holton, like gathering as a community of well-intentioned people. From each other in our beautiful world, we gain energy and experience humanity, which gives us sustenance to engage with the hard stuff. Hard stuff like being a new camper on an uphill battle towards the cookie line. For anyone wondering, I did master running up the hill, albeit slower than most. I learned that peanut butter chocolate chip were my favorite flavor, and I discovered being in the front of the line meant the cookies were still gooey and the milk was cold. The fruits of grit, determination, and a can-do, will-do attitude resulted in great life lessons and delicious snacks. 2 rocky months turned into 8 years of life-altering summers. I love remembering camp, the fun and the hardship. In fact, during a hang-up sale in July, I shared my camp stories with some of you and your parents who were missing you. Growth is uncomfortable and rewarding. Mrs. Holton knew this and created a pathway for what is now over 7,500 alumni and graduates who've grown into better versions of themselves. From Holton, they walked in and out of a doorway to the greater world with a love of learning and a calling to give back. I first learned of Holton-Arms during my summers at Sleepaway Camp, Trip Lake, from Panthers who loved their school. The joyful and purposeful community you now claim. Yes, Holton girls were some of my camp sisters. Decades later, I accept the charge to be a gatekeeper and a visionary for your precious alma mater, and I am not alone in this decision. My husband, Sam, who I hope many of you will come to meet and know as Coach or Mr. Evins, together with our cat Dumbo and our pup Gigi, chose to move here, to Holton-Arms. Although none of us enjoy moving, we are so happy to walk, well, Gigi sometimes runs, through this open door and open our door to you. Our children are now in college, and as such, we make our nest here, just across, I'm horrible with directions, the softball field. We are here because of you and for you, along with the trustees, the talented faculty and staff, and your dedicated parents and caregivers, our passionate and proud alumni and graduates. We are here for and because of you, our 3rd, our 4th, our 5th, our 6th, our 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. No matter where your Holton journey began, whether at Brown House or in 3rd grade, or as a new Panther today, The students of Holton are my inspiration, and you will certainly fuel me and carry on the precious mission delivery of Holton-Arms with my colleagues. Although there are new hills to climb, new cookies to sample, and challenges to face, the collective powers of Holton's community, our mission and action, will motivate and sustain me. As Holton's 8th head of school, I thank you for the privilege of leading through service as an educator. Mrs. Holton would certainly recognize your warm and friendly welcome as the Holton-Arms she envisioned more than a century ago. And as such, I imagine she would be incredibly proud of you, as am I. Thank you. Okay, I'm supposed to say something. See, I'm modeling mistake making. I promised you that. Holding true to my promise. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the Community Singers, a menagerie of students, faculty, staff, and for the first time, parents led by lower school chorus director, Mrs. Melissa Novak. Lyrics to the apropos song, Brand New, by Ben Rector are in your program, should you be so moved to join in and sing. Following the song, our middle school director, Mrs. Ryan Williams-Berry, will share her reflections of being brand new over the last year.
I feel like Good morning, Holton. Thank you so much, Mrs. Evans, for your beautiful remarks and reminders of our mission and our educational philosophy of learn well, lead well, and live well. Together, we have certainly nurtured something novel, unmatched and needed in the way of Holton-Arms, how Holton-Arms thrives today. Your reflection about your first sleepaway camp experience are also a reminder that we each have moments in which we have our own butterflies. And no matter our place in this moment, whether we are a new student, a returning student, or a member of our faculty and staff, we are all managing something new. Something new that may give us pause. As I begin my own journey as a second-year member of our community, I am filled with a flurry of excitement. But I am also reminded, as I shared with the middle school today, my own ponderings of nervousness, which harken me back to more than 20 years ago when I stepped into a 10th grade classroom, armed with a Norton anthology of American literature and brimming with excitement for the first class I would teach. As I opened the door at the front of the room, I could feel the intensity of 20 sets of eyes looking back at me with great expectation. Simultaneously, my heart was pounding so fast it was going to jump out of my chest. As I began to speak, my throat was as dry as paper, something I think we can all connect with. What had I gotten myself into? What if I made a terrible mistake? What if my students realized that I really didn't know every canon of literature inside and out? What if I could not show up for my students the way they needed? What if I had followed the wrong path? Just as these thoughts were swirling, I happened to look to my left and I saw a beloved colleague stick his head in the door and give me a thumbs up and a smile. His simple gesture was truly a gift. Those acts, my beloved upper school teacher, Mrs. Lolita Hardaleza, called love letters. They are small moments or gestures that abound all around us. They are little ways we get acknowledgement that we are loved and we are exactly where we are supposed to be. As you begin this year, I invite you to look for these love letters because they are definitely there and you are definitely where you are supposed to be. They are in the hug of a friend or an unexpected note that arrives at your desk, or in my case, that thumbs up from a colleague. They ground us in ways unimaginable and they propel us. As I've traveled Holton this last year, and I think back to the moment last year when I was pregnant, about 2 months away from giving birth to my beloved Andrew, you gave me, in ways that I cannot describe, an overwhelming number of love letters. They filled me in ways that I could never begin to actualize. They have helped me to feel at home and allowed me to be my best self, but they've also provided an important space, as you heard Mrs. Evans talk about, an important space to make mistakes. Let's keep looking for love letters. Let's keep spreading them too. Here's to a fantastic year, Holton-Arms. In honor of Mrs. Evans' investiture, my fellow speakers and I will offer symbols of Holton's beloved crest. On behalf of the faculty and staff, I have the pleasure of sharing the very first gift, the token on the top of the crest, the lamp of learning. Mrs. Evans, this commemorative charm symbolizes the light cast by knowledge. With that, in just a second after I actually give it to you. Welcome, thank you. With that, I'm going to hand it over to the class of 2030 student speaker, Gloria Liebman, representing the
Lower School.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gloria Lewin. I'm a proud member of the fabulous class of 2030. First, I would like to welcome our new third grade class, our new Panthers and other grades, our new faculty and staff members, and of course, our new head of school, Mrs. Evins. Today is extra special because I am also welcoming my little sister Grace, who is one of the new third graders. I promise I won't annoy her too much. Well, maybe just a little. I remember this day, 3 years ago, when I was a third grader, putting on my brand new Holton uniform. I had mixed feelings about this journey through a new school. My head was filled with tons of worries. But at least my dads would be happy with the uniform and lunch, because I wouldn't spend 1 hour every day deciding what outfit to wear and what to bring for lunch. On the first day of school, I walked through the doors with my hands tightly grasping the straps of my backpack. Although it was almost empty, it felt like I was carrying 100 bricks. Each represented a worry. As I entered the school, I experienced how warm the Holton community was, and some of those bricks disappeared. But I was the type of person who took time to warm up to a new environment, like some of you can relate to. In order to open up, I needed time, understanding, and patience from people, and that's exactly what I got. Thanks to the support and encouragement from my wonderful teachers such as Miss Osborne, Miss Norris, and all of our awesome faculty and staff members in lower school, I was able to gradually expand my comfort zone and involve myself more into our community. People often say, step out of your comfort zone. I think this message should be changed. Instead of stepping out, you can gradually expand your comfort zone, like what I did. This can allow you to try new things while still feeling safe. Do you remember the first time you went into a pool? Did you jump in the pool immediately? Like some of you, I slowly eased my way in to get used to the water. While some might feel comfortable with taking sudden leaps, many others prefer a more gradual approach. This can apply to making new friends or joining new activities. So, for both new and returning students, you can expand your comfort zone at your own pace. And don't worry about having to take a big and sudden leap, like trying to dance the Macarena on ice skates when you first learned ice skating. Before, I was reserved in my small comfort zone. It was like I was shrouded by many trees in a forest. But as I continued to learn and grow, I climbed the mountain away from the dark forest. I could engage with my community and see how colorful and diverse Holton really is. The Holton family embraces people from diverse backgrounds, personalities, ethnicities, experiences, and so much more. This reminds me of the formation of a rainbow. Have you ever marveled at the breathtaking beauty of a rainbow stretching across the sky after a refreshing rain? The rainbow, a dazzling display of colors, seems like nature's way of reminding us that diversity is a thing of sheer magnificence. In many ways, Holton's like the canvas of the sky, waiting to be painted with a brilliant array of colors, each representing a unique individual. Rainbows are created by light and water. In this case, the light symbolizes Mrs. Holton's vision to lead lives of positive influence and the school's broader commitment to diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. And the water represents empathy, understanding, and respect. In other words, Holton's vision is the guiding principle, like the sun, and the water is the actions we take to foster a sense of belonging and inclusion. When the water embraces the light, it creates this gorgeous masterpiece, a beautiful arc of a rainbow. Similarly, an arc of inclusiveness is formed when we celebrate our differences and welcome new people with warmth and open hearts. The faculty and staff are like a helpful wind that blows away the clouds so the sunlight can reach the water. They help us find the optimal angles to let the light of inclusivity cast the colors that represent our diverse community members. The rainbow also has distinct colors with different hues and shades. Similarly, each individual has their own background, personality, and experiences. When we include everyone in our Holton community, we can create the most stunning rainbow ever, the Holton Rainbow. It has so many different colors beyond the basic red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. However, just how a perfect rainbow can fade away, inclusiveness can also fade. We must constantly shower our rainbow with care, attention, empathy, understanding, and respect to ensure that it remains vivid and enduring. Some of the examples of actions you can take are when you see someone needing help, you can reach out and talk to them. When you see someone who is lost, be their GPS. And when you see someone at recess standing alone, be their fun companion. Approach them and ask if they want to join your fun. There are many ways to make someone feel warm and included, and don't ever be afraid to take an action. Whether it is a small or big one, it will have a huge impact on the person you're doing it to. So, let us cherish the marvel of inclusiveness, like the captivating formation of a rainbow. Let us welcome the new people into our fold and paint the canvas of Holton with the most magnificent rainbow. Together, we can create a masterpiece, a symbol of our shared commitment to diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, where each color shines and each person thrives. Let's turn our Holton canvas into a masterpiece that even Picasso would envy. Thank you for listening. And now, I offer to Mrs. Evins, on behalf of the lower school, the next symbol from the crest. The orbs signify a guild, which from the old meaning of the word is a group that comes together for a purpose. Thus, the three orbs symbolize the three groups of students at Holton, upper, middle, and lower schools, who come together to learn how to learn, to develop character, and to provide service to the community.
Thank you, Gloria. Next up, we welcome Priya Howard, president of the class of 2028, who will be entering her second year at Holton today. Priya.
Hello, students, faculty, staff, and a special hello to our new head of school, Mrs. Evans. My name is Priya Howard, and I'm the 8th grade president. As some of you know, I was new to Holton last year. For the 160 plus new students and the 24 plus new faculty and staff, and the rest of us, I thought I'd share some advice I call the power of 5. I was excited to join a new community of people, but I was also nervous. I didn't know how people would respond to me. Would it be hard to make friends? Would I adapt to the new environment? Or how would I perform academically? All of these things ran through my mind. It was a lot, but one thing that assured me was a motto that I learned years ago from my mom. The motto consists of 5 simple keywords that lead to a win. The motto is, keep trying, never give up, win. A real example of this motto I experienced during my first couple of weeks at Holton occurred during lunchtime. As I entered the cafeteria, I noticed everyone was gravitating to their tables to sit with their friends. Being new and not knowing anyone, I found myself sitting down alone during lunch. Shortly after, I started introducing myself to new people, and in return, they invited me to sit with them and their friends. As time went on, friendships grew, and I found a core group of friends. You see, I kept trying, never gave up, which led to me meeting new friends, the win. Being new last year, I wanted to challenge myself. I was eager to learn more about this new environment and understand what the students wanted while bringing a fresh perspective to Holton. So, I decided to run for 7th grade president. There were several components of running. We had to campaign by making posters, recording campaign videos, participating in a live Q&A, and delivering speeches. I honestly didn't think that many people would vote for me. They barely knew me. Each step of the way, I thought of the motto and kept trying, never gave up, and guess what? I became the 7th grade president. Now let's get into the second part of the Power of Five. A couple of months ago, I walked in on my mom watching an interview with the CEO of Nestle Canada. He mentioned how, throughout his life, he'd moved from place to place and city to city. The interviewer asked him how he'd adapted and created a positive experience in all the places he'd lived in. His response and advice was, in every new place you go, meet and make at least 5 new people. Put yourself out there, and you will grow and build positive relationships. To me, this is important because it forces you to get out of your comfort zone, thus creating positive experiences for yourself in your new environment. Okay, if there is one takeaway from my speech here today, keep in mind that being new is two-sided. How we want people to respond to us being new is how we should treat others who are new. Mrs. Holton had a vision for all of us, to lead lives of positive influence. So I challenge all of us here today to embrace and welcome all things new. New school years, new peers, faculty and staff, and new experiences. Whether playing a new sport, auditioning for a musical, or joining a club, go out, meet new people, and embrace them. And this will lead to us all being true to Holton's broader commitment of diversity, equality, inclusion, and belonging. Thank you. Mrs. Evans, for the next symbol from the crest, I offer, on behalf of the middle school, a bay leaf tree. The bay leaf is emblematic of youth and can be seen throughout the building on the new room signs, in the buildings, and in Holton's HA logo. It also represents wisdom, both acquired and intuitive.
Thank you, Priya. For our final student speaker, I am proud to present Resident Advisor Director and Class of 2024 Senior, Sophia Burton.
Welcome back, especially the Class of 2024. Today is a big day for lots of us. It's Miss Evans' first convocation, it's the entire 3rd grade class's first day of school, and for me, it's my 10th and final convocation at the school I adore. First, I want the 3rd graders to give their neighbors a high five. Seriously, please. Congrats, you're at the best school ever. I remember the exact moment I got into Holton. I was at a bakery in Georgetown with my mom when I got the phone call. I reacted by saying that Holton was my destiny and deciding which accessories to pair with plaid. I recommend navy blue. Although today is bittersweet for me and many of my peers, we have so much to look forward to and many memories we can look back on. I was going to share 10 memories from my 10 years here, but 10 things in about 6 minutes is pretty ambitious, so I'll share 5 of my core Holton memories instead. 4th grade go-karts. Not many schools allow 4th graders to build and ride their own go-karts. From diligently sanding the wooden parts to painting the exterior and picking a fierce enough name, Red Hot, I still remember washing out the red paint that mysteriously got into my hair. The entire experience was uniquely Holton. 8th grade. I was in Miss Hunter Cook's United States Political History class working on my project about passing a bill when I decided to use the format of a picture book with llamas as the politicians, of course. Now, these llamas weren't your average 4-legged politicians. They were fancy llamas, with Marie Antoinette hairdos adorned in pearls and jewels. In USPH, Miss Hunter Cook led me to discover history as my favorite subject and llamas as my favorite animal. 9th grade. Oh, wait, sorry. 8th grade. No, sorry. 9th grade. Oops. See, mistakes, like Miss Evans said. Romeo and Juliet play performances in 9th grade. Shanley and I both played the role of Friar Lawrence with Ruby as our Juliet. Weeks of standing in the mirror and saying my lines finally paid off on performance day. I, wearing a blue graduation gown as a priest's robe and a Lululemon bra insert bobby pinned to my head as the friar's bald spot, was ready to take on the English classroom stage and perhaps even the Elizabethan stage in London. 10th grade. I've grown more comfortable throughout my time at Holton because I know my teachers and friends will always support me. So in 10th grade, I felt reasonably confident participating in the Blue-White Talent Show. It was hard to follow amazing performances by my peers, such as Izzy Smith's incredible Not a Love Song. But I didn't spend the previous weekend ironing Vote for Pedro onto a t-shirt for nothing. So I took the stage in Napoleon Dynamite's uniform of jeans, the Pedro shirt, complete with a curly wig and aviator glasses to attempt to perform Napoleon Dynamite's iconic and strangely complicated dance. 11th grade. Since I was in lower school, I knew I was going to go on a junior journey trip. It was something I looked forward to every year leading up to it. I decided to go to Morocco this summer because it was the place I knew the least about. I wanted to go on the trip with an open mind, ready to fully immerse myself in the culture. While spending time with my close friends, I also found myself making new best friends and talking to people I'd never really gotten the chance to spend time with. I didn't think this would happen the summer before my senior year. We had full group dance parties in hotel rooms, confession circles on the rooftops of a riad, and so much more. In Morocco, I received a few marriage proposals, engaged in meaningful dialogue with local students, made delicious homemade almond butter, and attempted to milk a goat. I failed. I want to thank my classmates and Holton teachers, Miss Randall and Miss Osmek, for providing me with an unforgettable Holton Moroccan experience. As I did in each of these experiences, I encourage you all to embrace new opportunities and people. Challenge yourselves as I challenged myself in 5th grade when I started taking Chinese. Although this course continues to be demanding, I couldn't love it more. Because of Dr. Liao and Miss Jiang, I feel as though I can succeed again this year in Chinese class and pursue it in college. Whether you are in 3rd grade or 12th grade, you belong here. We can support each other through the year and many years to come. I'll miss this school next fall, but don't worry, Mr. Lynch, you haven't gotten rid of me yet. And Miss Craig, I promise you will find me on your sofa many times this year. Last month, I came across an exciting picture book entitled, What Do You Do with a Chance? I want to leave you with a quote from the back cover. What do chances become? New friendships, exciting opportunities, and daring discoveries. Chances are invitations to grand adventures, tickets to unforgettable experiences, and doors to whole new worlds. Chances will help you see who you are, what you want, and where you want to go. So what will you do with your chance? Now that's up to you. Thank you. On behalf of the upper school, I share the open book, which symbolizes the teacher's role in imparting knowledge and the staff's role in supporting the educational process. Please take this journal and use it to reflect on all that you will learn as you begin your journey as Holton's 8th head of school.
Thank you, Sophia. What a spirited walk down memory lane, and I appreciate all of the humor, and I want to hear more about the proposals and the llamas and all of that. I'm eager to share a few convocation remarks with you as we close out this momentous occasion. And I would like to take the privilege of introducing you, or perhaps reacquainting you, with one of my favorite children's books and a theme for the year. Raise your hand if you've ever seen, heard, or know Corduroy by Don Freeman. Oh, I have friends. Good, 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 good. Corduroy was just waking up when the first customers came into the store in the morning. And there, looking at him with a wide, warm smile, was the same little girl he'd seen only the day before. "I'm Lisa," she said, "and you're going to be my very own bear. Last night, I counted what I've saved in my piggy bank, and my mother said I could bring you home." "Shall I put him in a box for you?" the sales lady asked. "Oh, no, thank you," Lisa answered, and she carried Corduroy home in her arms. She ran all the way up 4 flights of stairs, into her family's apartment, and straight into her own room. Corduroy blinked. There was a chair and a chest of drawers, and alongside a girl-sized bed stood a little bed that was just the right size for him. The room was small, nothing like that enormous palace in the department store. "This must be home," he said. "I've always wanted a home." Lisa sat down with Corduroy on her lap and began to sew a button onto his overalls. "I like you the way you are," she said. but you'll be more comfortable with your shoulder strap fastened. You must be a friend, said Corduroy. I've always wanted a friend. Me too, said Lisa, and gave him a big hug. Thank you to our sharers in the audience. I chose this excerpt from Don Freeman's Corduroy to illustrate the sacred moment when a new friendship is formed. When love guides and fuels the act of caring for another, it does not feel like a chore, but instead like a gift. Lisa lets Corduroy know that she loves him just the way he is, broken overall strap and all, but that he'll be more comfortable and able to play, adventure, and explore and learn with a button strap. Corduroy chooses to trust Lisa and her intentions. He sees her goodwill and humanity. He's a little bear and she's a young girl, wanting to be chosen, to be taken home and cared for, to enjoy companionship, and to be a part of a community. Corduroy seeks help and is eager to learn, excited about what is ahead and unafraid to make mistakes. Corduroy knows that Lisa has his back. Lisa wants to feel connected to another and yearns for purpose, ready to teach, to learn from and grow with Corduroy. She leads with love and seeds the growth of a newfound friendship. I wonder how the outlook of Corduroy and Lisa might help us, all of us, to co-create our year together, which commences today. Let us view help, needing each other, and feedback as a chance to improve and become more of our best selves. Let us reach out to those who are new and returning, as we've heard from our student and faculty speakers, perhaps lonely and a bit confused, and help them find their way while showing us new ones. Let us work to maintain and build new relationships without focusing on differences. According to my research, we have those 7 years old to 74 years old in our learning community. I found children's books to bridge generations and have a passion for the messages they hold. I chose Corduroy this morning for you, our students. I believe our seniors, the class of 2024, let's hear it from again, and their parents and caregivers, let's hear it for them. Well, you're our role models. You are our Lisas. I believe that our youngest Panthers, the class of 2033, let's hear it for our third graders. Well, you are our Corduroys. You inspire us to be our very best. We gather as a community, both formally and informally, and it spotlights the gifts of relationships, both inside and far beyond our open door. Connecting across grade levels and divisions cultivates community and harvests our collective best. Today marks the beginning of the year and a brand new tradition for Holton-Arms, the third grade and senior buddies. So thank you for your star exchange, hold up your stars, and the buddy program before third graders process through the seniors tunnel into Convocation this morning. I'm delighted to watch many new friendships blossom and form this year. I chose Corduroy for you, my colleagues, the faculty and staff who work tirelessly to create and nurture this learning community. From today's setup, which began last June, and planning calls and careful teaming across school departments and divisions, the academic, athletic, artistic experiences that you will have for the next 170 school days, the delicious and plentiful food that we shall enjoy, the welcoming campus that is prepped and improved upon to harness our collaborative efforts. Every Holton-Arms faculty and staff member pulls for you, our students, our precious Panthers. You are our true North Stars, and for you, we are here. Just like Lisa for Corduroy, each of us has a job to do, and every job is important. I chose this book, well, simply because I love it and the entire Corduroy series by Mr. Freeman. And I'm certain that each of us is coming to this year with hopes, dreams, and uncertainty. So let us actualize Mrs. Holton's dream for her school, a place of human connection and cultivation of the mind, the soul, and the spirit. A place where we will celebrate needing each other, and I imagine many, if not all of you, perhaps will sew a button or two on my trousers, so to speak, this year. I will certainly need your help, and I hope to be helpful to you. Corduroy and Lisa are partners, each wanting the comfort of company in their lives. We are partners. A shared belief in each other will fuel us as we find and make our way this year. So as we embark on the 2023-24 school year, let us remember Lisa's wayfinding advice to corduroy in one of Freeman's later works. Never forget who you are, and never forget who loves you. And with that, go blue, go white. No judgment, but I heard some work that needs to be done. Let's make this a year of celebrating our need for each other to remind us of who we are, and one where we feel the love of each other, the best one yet. Thank you very much. And now we close out the 2023-24 Convocation as we sing our beloved alma mater together. The lyrics are on your program for those who need a refresher, and I will need a program so I can sing. Followed by upper school, then middle school, then lower school, and any remaining faculty or staff will recess out of the amphitheater and make their way to classes. And we'll let our guests exit last so that the students can return safely to the building before cars get moving in the parking lots. Here's to a wonderful year.
No.